Okay, I am Virginia Wilbur, and I will go ahead and call the April 7th regular meeting of Planning, Programming, and Zoning Commission to order. First item of business, I think, okay, you got him unmuted. I am told that, at least for the record, we just need to state that we are meeting by electronically and then still have an open meeting, obviously due to requirements to keep social distancing and due to COVID-19. So that is why we have special accommodations for today's meeting. And everything was published in the agenda in terms of joining the meeting for access by the public as well. So for the actual public, if anybody would appear at the actual meeting, then I will delegate authority to Noel to call them at the appropriate time. Does that work? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will just remind everybody that because we have several people by phone as well, when you talk, please say your name first. Okay. First item on the agenda is approval of today's agenda. Any comments or discussion?
This is Marcia Butchen. I move to approve the agenda.
This is Eric. I move to second the agenda, or second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passed. Next item on the agenda is approval of the regular meeting minutes from March 3rd.
This is Eric Dunot. I move to approve the minutes as of for March 3rd.
This is
Brandon Schulberg. I will second.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Aye.
All right, next we'll have the financial report.
This is Anderson with staff. This is the financial report for February 2020, so it puts us at 66% of the year. If you go down through the expenses, we're at about 62% total, so we're below where we should be at this time in terms of expenses, which is great in terms of saving money. In terms of revenue coming in, the different areas were at 71%, 66%, 37%. Overall, we are at the 37% in sale of property is the lowest. It brings us down a little bit. So we have some property out there to sell. It's been slowed down by some other grant projects, but hopefully we'll get that before the end of the year and get that back up. So we're pretty much right on schedule.
Okay, this is Marcia Butchen. I just have one real quick question. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, on legal services, why are we above? We're at 125% there. I was just wondering what that was, what we had to do there that was making it so much more.
Sure. I'll have to verify exact cause of what that was. Obviously, that was where we're probably hiring some kind of attorney help for some action. It might have been a lawsuit or something. So I'll get you the details of that for next month or offline to let you know exactly why that's higher.
Okay, yeah, I'd appreciate it if you just email me because I won't be there next month. Thanks.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
This is Flynn. I was just wondering for Mr. Anderson, as far as with the shutdown, are we anticipating expenses to stay flat? Or are they going to go down, up, and revenue also? I know he had indicated waiting on grants and stuff, but with the effects of shutdown, how do we anticipate that on this budget?
In terms of expenses, so at this point, I would expect those to stay pretty static. We are continuing to work the majority of us in the office most of the time. We've had a couple of staff that were out working from home for a couple of days, but otherwise we're pretty much in the office. The permit counters are still open. We're obviously encouraging as much contact as possible for any meetings by phone, by video, or for people to even apply for permits online or by the phone. So, but we are still operating. Right now, the numbers are still looking as they should, kind of normal, I guess, for permits. The traffic is down, but the permits are still coming in by mail and things like that. So at this point, the revenue is pretty static as to where it should be. But we are concerned with, as this keeps going on, that the revenue would go down for permits.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, motion to approve,
So moved, Eric.
Seconded,
second.
Surfling.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, new business. Before we get to new business, do we have anybody attending from the public that wants to speak on an item not on the agenda?
This is Anderson. There is no one in the council chambers.
Okay, okay. So then we will go to item A in new business, which is a request by Justin Tucker on behalf of Air Care for a site plan amendment to the M2P Planned Industrial District to install a trailer for emergency crews between airport hangars 2 and 5 located west of 2814 Betsworth Drive. First, we'll have report from staff.
Oh,
You need to open the meeting. Or you open the hearing.
This one's a hearing.
yes, we need to say the time is 4:07 and the hearing is scheduled at this time.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I realized it was a hearing. Time is 4:07. And is there a notice that needs to be read from Patty?
Yes, there is. It says we
Okay.
should receive and place and file a statement of verification signed by Patty McGee stating, I, Patty McGee, do hereby certify that a copy of the attached letter, overview map, and site plan were mailed to each individual on the attached list by regular mail on March 19th, 2020.
Do we have a motion to place that notice on file?
So moved. Seconded, do not.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next, we will have report from staff.
Did you get the motion now? This is Western staff. There will not appear a negative impact upon the surrounding area as the proposed mobile trailer will be located inside the fenced-in airport property. It would appear that the request will not have an impact upon traffic conditions in the surrounding area as the proposed trailer will be located within the fenced-in airport property. The area in question has been zoned M2MP Planned Industrial District since March 13th, 1995, when the land was rezoned from A1 agricultural district to allow for the industrial and commercial development of the site. Surrounding land uses and their zoning designations are as follows. To the north is industrial and commercial buildings and airport zone M2P Planned Industrial District. To the south is industrial and commercial buildings zone M2P Planned Industrial District and M1 Light Industrial District. To the east is vacant land and industrial district and commercial businesses zone M2P Planned Industrial District. To the west, vacant land and industrial commercial businesses zone M2P Planned Industrial District. No buffering or screening is required for this request. The surrounding area of the site in question is comprised of various businesses such as Advanced Heat Treat, ConAgra, Sadler Powertrain, Waterloo Tartan Temp, FedEx Ground, Standard Forwarding, that were built in the late 90s to early 2000s, with Camp Runamuck Doggy Daycare currently under construction. No portion of the area in question is located within a special flood hazard area as indicated by the Federal Insurance Administration Flood Insurance Rate Map, community number 190025 and panel number 0304F, dated July 18, 2011. There will, as far as the utilities, there will have to be a septic tank installed for the use with the mobile home. There is water and electric that can be extended from the airport to the mobile home. The request would not be in conformance with the classification of this area as commercial on the future land use map within the City of Waterloo Comprehensive Plan adopted February 3rd, 2003. Air Care is an emergency air medical transport service staffed by medical crews from the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. Air Care previously operated out of a space in the Mercy One Medical Center, but had to relocate on short notice to the Waterloo Regional Airport. Currently, Air Care operates an air medical base out of the terminal at the Waterloo Regional Airport. The existing Waterloo Air Care crew quarters consist of a series of co-located offices and rooms within the terminal. This arrangement is not ideal for providing responsive emergency air medical services, as the crews are currently separated from their aircraft in the hangar by 1,200 feet. Secondly, air crews require private bathrooms and showers as they staff the base for up to 24 hours at a time. The terminal only has public restrooms and no showers available. Lastly, heavy passenger traffic in the terminal causes additional delays and further impedes the air crews from responding to emergencies. The applicant is originally proposed two locations, with the preferred location being between hangars 2 and 5 on the west end of the airfield. However, there were a few issues with getting sanitary sewer to this location due to the fact that the nearest sewer line is 375 feet away and would be costly to install. With the assistance from the engineering department and airport director, the applicant is exploring several options. The least expensive option would be to tie into an existing septic tank currently used by the airport, if it can be shown that the existing system can handle the additional load. A second option would have been to install a new septic system to the west to accommodate the new building, which would be a moderate expense and moderate construction, moderate time to install. The most expensive option would be to install a new sewer service approximately 375 feet to the existing sanitary sewer, which would be the most expensive, the most construction, and most time to complete. Staff continue to work with the applicant to find the most feasible option. There was a second location that was south of the snow equipment building. However, as the applicant worked with contractors and the airport director, they have decided to move the trailer to the west side. So it'll be on your map as option 1. It was going to be between the two hangars, but now it's on the back side of hangar 5. The trailer will be adjacent to the Air Care hangar and aircraft, which would significantly increase response times. The proposed trailer will be built new specifically for Air Care crew and meet all state and local safety requirements, complete with a sprinkler system. The proposed mobile trailer will have private bathrooms and showers. The trailer will never be occupied by more than 4 crew members at any given time, and in most cases only 3. The kitchen will consist of common household appliances, which will all be operated on electricity. The mobile trailer will be designed and built to meet ADA specifications. So to clarify, if you look at your map, that red box on the back side of hangar 5, that is the new number 1 location. It just moved between the 2 hangars to the back side of hangar 5.
So it's option 3,
So it's, yeah,
the call out, okay.
option 3. So therefore, staff recommends that the request by Justin Tucker on behalf of Air Care for a site plan amendment to the M2P Planned Industrial District to install a trailer for the emergency crews to the west of hangar 5, located west of 2814 Betsworth Drive, be approved for the following reasons. There are extremely limited locations available that would meet the requirements for safely and efficiently operating an air medical crew. Secondly, air medical services crews require living quarters with a kitchen, private bathrooms, and showers for up to 4 members and be located in close proximity of the hangar and aircraft. Thirdly, the most mobile home would not have a negative impact on the area or vehicular or pedestrian traffic, as the proposed mobile home would be within the fenced-in area of the airport. And lastly, there are no objections on file.
So this is Marcia Button. When you were reading the long part here before the staff analysis, one of the things that you said was that it will be built specific for the air care crew and meet all and local safety requirements, complete with a sprinkler system. My only concern is when you look at the I don't know what you call this, but where they laid out where all the rooms are going to be, that sort of thing. They show a front door, which they show the back door to the back there, the living area, but there's no door on, I don't know if that's west or where, but the west side of this map anyway, if you know what I'm talking about. It seems to me that might be an area where a door should be, for safety reasons, but maybe that's just me.
I know the applicant, Justin Tucker, is online, so.
Okay.
Hey, this is Justin Tucker. I'm the area manager for the air care program here in Iowa. Thank you all for your time today and your consideration here. To, I guess, kind of address that concern there regarding the doors. There's a front and back entrance to this building. The contractors that design and build these buildings have designed and built several of these specific type of modular crew quarters for our emergency transponders or emergency personnel at several locations across the state and really across the country. So, and we have not ran into any issues or concerns regarding the entrances or exits at any of those sites prior to. So, I think just based off of that experience, that all the safety considerations have been taken into account, and so far have not shown any lacking there in regards to entrances and exits. If that makes sense.
Okay, and I guess this is much, and I guess the reason I brought it up is that I used to live in a mobile home, and I remember that back then we only had two doors too, but one was at the very front and one was at the back near sleeping quarters. So I guess that was my concern, and I know you've got sprinkler systems going to be in there, but that was my concern.
Right. Yep. No, understandable. Yeah, I see your point. So, but like I said, these crew quarters are built specifically for these crews, for these emergency medical responders, and we have them in several locations across the country. And so far, we haven't had any issues regarding that particular safety concern there. So
Okay.
I think should be good. But
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is Do Not. I have a question for staff. Okay. The request would not be in conformance with classification of this area as commercial or on the future land use map within the city of Waterloo comprehensive plan adopted February 3rd. That portion of the packet, is that an issue?
No, that's why staff has recommended approval of the request. It's within the fenced-in, I don't know, what is it, 300 acre site behind an existing, what's that?
And Keith Casperry is on the line, the Waterloo Regional Airport Director, if Keith wants to talk about the general layout of the airport.
If everybody can hear me, again, thanks, Noel. Keith Casper, Airport Director. Justin and I have worked together extensively since his arrival knowing that, the terminal building was just an albeit temporary measure until we were able to get Justin and his Waterloo-based air transport staff into a longer-term, I'll say more permanent facility that better suits their needs from a day-to-day operational standpoint. We believe this now location located at the northwest corner of Hangar 5 on the west side of the hangar suits him, I think, almost perfectly. That area, that paved area north of the hangar also provides an excellent location for the parking of the aircraft and also of the POVs that his staff would need to drive on the airfield. So it's almost an ideal now location with regard to their facility usage in the passenger terminal. And I strongly recommend support of this project and would answer any questions that any member of the committee would have.
Thank you.
Are there other questions for the applicant or?
This is Flynn, I'm good.
Yeah, this is Dunant. I'm good as well.
If I could provide one last comment. This location again provides almost instantaneous response to the helicopter, in contrast with where the helicopter is parked now and their need to kind of in a roundabout way respond from the quarters in the terminal building. They can rush right out of the trailer, get into the helicopter, which would be plugged in due to the need to continue to keep the aircraft systems on the helicopter fully charged and respond immediately once they get the call. So I don't think that can be understated, is their overall response to getting in the helicopter and off the ground.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's excellent for our community and the surrounding communities that utilize the, unfortunate utilization of the aircraft for emergencies. So I just think it's an excellent idea. Thank you.
This is Butchin. I feel the same way. I like the planning, I like what's at, and it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Do we have a motion to close the hearing then?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Any discussion amongst commissioners?
Nope, I will make a motion. If I find my paper here, sorry.
This is Commissioner Flynn. She's going to make a motion.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to find my page here. Okay. So therefore, I move to accept the staff recommendations for the request by Justin Tucker on behalf of Air Care for a site plan amendment to the M2P Planned Industrial District to install a trailer for emergency crews to the west of Hangar 5, located west of 2814 Bethworth Drive, be approved for these following reasons. There are extremely limited locations available that would meet the requirements for safely and efficiently operating an air medical crew. 2, air medical services crews require living quarters with kitchen, private bathrooms, and showers for up to 4 members, and also be located in close proximity of the hangar and aircraft. And 3, the mobile home would not have a negative effect on the area of vehicular or pedestrian traffic, as the proposed mobile home would be within the fenced-in area of the airport, and there are no objections on file to this request.
Second.
Do not.
Yep, that was
All
Dunant.
right.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any objections? Okay, motion carried. All right, next item on the agenda is a request by CGA Engineers on behalf of Midwest Development for the preliminary plat of Lincolnshire Additions located northwest of 3520 Amesboro Avenue.
To start off with staff, the request would not appear to have a negative impact on the neighborhood, as the area has been designated for homes since the 1960s. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on vehicular, pedestrian traffic and movements in the area. The area is served by Lincolnshire Road, Monticello Avenue, and Meadow Lanes, which are local streets, and Amesboro, which is a minor arterial. The area proposed site is currently zoned R1 RP Plan 1 and 2 Family Residence District, and has been zoned as such since being rezoned from R1 1 and 2 Family Residence District by Ordinance 5528 on November 25th, 2019, having been zoned R1 since the adoption of the zoning ordinance in 1969. Surrounding land uses and their zoning. To the north is residential zoned R1 1 and 2 Family Residence District and R3 Multiple Residence District. To the south is residential and a church zoned R1 1 and 2 Family Residence District and R3 Multiple Residence District. To the east is a church and residential zoned R1 1 and 2 Family Residence District and R3 Multiple Residence District. And to the west is residential zoned R1 1 and 2 Family Residence District. Homes in the area were built between 1969 and 1975. The church was built in 1974 and expanded in 1997. And multifamily housing was built in 1974 and 1975. The applicant's proposing 17 lots. The R1 RP allows for flexibility and density to allow for new homes to meet the market conditions of the area. Midwest Development is proposing a mixture of single-family, two-family units for the development. The area is being proposed for preliminary plat was originally shown as in the preliminary plat of West Ridge Addition in July 1961 as future addition, but it was sold to the neighboring church and not developed. And the engineering department has signed off on the plat, allowing it to proceed to city council once recommendation is received from this commission. The preliminary plat includes the legal description, the existing contours, property lines, dimensions, building setback lines and dimensions, date, North arrow, scale, owner, proposed sanitary sewer locations, water system location, proposed storm sewer location, adjoining subdivisions, size of individual lots, right-of-way widths, street servicing, street widths, grading plan, and street names. Therefore, staff recommends that the request for the preliminary plat of Lincolnshire Addition be approved for the following reasons. The request would not appear to have a negative impact surrounding the area. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on the pedestrian or traffic conditions in the area. The request would create no new infill lots in a developed part of the city. And it will put 3 acres of land, subsequent homes on the tax rolls.
I have a question for staff. What church is being referred to near the development?
What is that, Cedar Valley?
Cedar Valley Community Church.
Yeah.
Thank you. The question was from Duna, by the way.
Thank you. Any other initial questions for staff?
Yes, this is Butchin. The new road that's going to be between these houses and duplexes, Lincolnshire Road, it shows, it's weird because it's colored in where it says Tract A, Parcel B. It's colored in there, but then on either end, it's not. Does that mean that area is a road, or it's going to be and there's something different? I'm just curious there. Because it looks like Meadow Lane, it will come off Meadow Lane, and also, what is that, West Monticello?
Yeah, those stubs already exist.
Pardon?
The stubs already exist, so they just need to develop their section.
All right, that was my question. Thank you.
Commissioner Surfline, do we
Other
know
questions?
Do we know the projected time of when they will complete this?
Kevin Fitro from Skogeman Homes is on the line, so he can answer that question.
We're ready to go. We're ready to go. We're on hold right now just with the current situation. Just checking, watching cash as far as closings and things, but we're actually ready to be on the ground and developing as soon as possible.
There are other questions? Yeah.
This is Flynn, sorry. And is there been any neighborhood issues, neighborhood people contacting staff or, city council meetings or letters? I've not heard anything, so just wondered what the sentiment is of the neighborhood.
I know the applicant was working with neighbors when they originally did the rezone, but we have not heard anything since with the preliminary plat.
Yeah, this is Anderson with staff. When the rezoning was actually at the city council meeting, the neighbors actually thought Kevin had been so great to work with, they recommended to the council to approve all 3 readings in one night, and the council did do that. So they seem very happy with the project moving ahead.
Super, thank you.
And this is Butch, and just one more thing that didn't get read into the minutes here, but I'm pleased to see that the development is going to have sidewalks.
Yes, the development will have sidewalks.
Yeah.
Hey, are there other questions for Kevin? So I'm assuming there's nobody else in there that wants to speak on this agenda item?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for staff? All right, do we have a motion?
Commissioner Surfling, I'll make the motion that the request by CGA Engineers on behalf of Midwest Development for the preliminary plat of Lincolnshire Addition located northwest of 3520 Ainsborough Avenue be approved for the following reasons. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on the surrounding area. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on pedestrian and traffic conditions within that area. The request will create new infill lots in a developed part of the city and will put 3 acres of land and subsequent homes on the tax rolls.
Second. This is Dunot, second.
Any discussion amongst commissioners? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any objections? Okay, motion carried. Right. Anybody have any discussion items?
My question is for the meeting for the May 2020 meeting, will we have the same setup if the, the lockdown rules or the stay-at-home order is still in place?
This is Anderson with staff, and so and at the bottom of the agenda, it says the next meeting is May 3rd. It's actually May 5th. And yes, I would anticipate, based on what's going on in the world right now, that the next meeting would be a similar format. But we'll let you know if that changes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One additional item, I believe this is Commissioner Butchman's last meeting. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Well, thank you for your service. We will miss you. Sorry we're not there in person to send you off, but stay in touch.
That's all right. At least we were together last month. But it has been a joy. Thank you. And thank you to all the people that work on planning and zoning too in the office. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia.
Thanks.
Yes, and thank you to everybody in the department for getting all the technology arranged for today so that you could accommodate all of us. Does anybody have any other
I have
discussion
one
items?
thing. Welcome, Brandon. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
We hope to meet you in person next, maybe in 2 meetings.
Maybe in June.
So this is Flynn. Can we know who the commissioners are with Marcia leaving? Who are still the commissioners?
So Eric Dunot is still on, Craig Holdeman is still on, Sue Flynn is still on for the school board. Eric is there for human rights. Virginia Wilbur is still on. Brandon Schoberg is new and is on. Patricia Surfling is on. Steve Trost is still on. And then I believe community development, I can't remember if they had their meeting canceled, so they'll be trying to appoint their representative. And then I believe we had one application that we'll be moving ahead with now that Marcia would be leaving. So we should be back up to full strength.
Okay, thank you.
All right. If there aren't any other discussion items, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved. This is Duna.
Second.
Shepherd makes the second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so
Aye.
much.
Oh, it looks like Craig is trying to join us now.
Oh,
Oh, there's
Oh.
Craig.
Thank you, everybody.
Craig, we just
Thank
got
you.
done.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
bye.